Hello, this is Annette Stanton. Just wanting to share with you a little bit more about um, living in uncertain times. And this is something that I find myself throughout many areas of my own life. And yet again, in a moment of time that feels like a moment, definitely more than a moment, but of uncertainty. So when you're in the muddle, I can tell you that, when you're on a path that things are moving in a certain direction, then all of a sudden, point blank, it's all wiped out from underneath you. It can be quite daunting, emotional, overwhelming, anxious, and sitting in that space of being able to be with what there is to be with can be friggin' scary, I can tell you. But what I do know is it's about transformation. It's about listening in. It's about tuning into what's real when going through those uncertain times. And I cannot tell you the amount of conversations that I have with my clients who are going through the very same thing. And I know that this is, the life that I've lived along the way of many uncertain times, so that I can actually be in that space. I'm not perfect at it, I can tell you that. I'm human as well as you are. And this is where we need to become our own best friend and not be so hard on ourselves like I know I am. So I certainly aren't as hard as what I used to be. I'm a lot better nowadays, a lot softer, but there is still that, that person who knows that she's achieved a lot in life, and achieving had to look a certain way to feel that sense of success, that sense of fulfillment, that sense of happiness, and so forth. And as I've, gained my wisdom years, let's call it, then higher priorities will always step in and make you realise what is most important, especially when you're in that what's called the muddle. The muddle of I really don't know right now. I'm in uncertainty, and I know that we all talk about looking at the things that you do have and being grateful for those things, which I practice gratitude every day. Meditation every day. I do all those things, and it's not about having it all perfect and right. It's about what, my experience. I'll share from my experience because everybody is different, and that's why I believe that no one size fits all. With all these different programs out there, it's so important to tap into what sits right for you at any given moment of time. So, but what I'm realizing more and more and more is that it teaches me to go deeper into what my truth is at this time in my life, not making anything from the past right or wrong, good or bad, or in this moment. So what I mean by that is, if I haven't achieved, something on the path of my life as it stands today, results aren't coming, even though you might be out there, walking the talk and talking the talk and walking it as much best you can, and the results still aren't coming, then it certainly can be quite demoralising. And this is something that I've noticed personally as obviously needs change, the outside world needs change, and it's important to keep tuning into what what yourself and what, myself, we all have our own highest priority of needs. And that's why it's important to really notice, what's going on emotionally, and not to deflect that. Notice what is happening inside so that you can listen in and give it a voice and talk to that emotion, so that you're able to tap into what you know is right for you at this stage in your life, without going back into the past of what you think you could have, should have, would have done only if this had have happened, or if I had taken this path, or that's crucifying yourself, and I have to catch myself doing that personally. So as you've noticed, for those people that have seen certain photographs, that I have had shorter hair, I'm going back to longer hair. It's something that I'm just tuning in. I cannot explain it. It's not a head thing. I'm just trusting whatever's right for me right now. I went through a whole new rebranding 3 years ago. Something wasn't succinct with that. There wasn't that. I don't know. I can't explain it. So sometimes when you're trusting sometimes, most of the time when you're trusting your own intuition, there's no particular logical reason behind it. You've just got to trust, even if you don't know what shape it's meant to step. Even though if you don't know all your steps ahead, it's just trusting in each moment, and that takes a lot of courage to be comfortable with the unknown and the uncertainty in this moment. But what I can tell you is, as I practice every day to tune into each moment, and my commitment is inner peace, to be at peace as best I can. I'm not perfect, by far not perfect. I've had many a tears and many a heartache and many a moment of, why isn't this working the way that I had anticipated, or the direction that I thought I was moving into isn't taking the shape that I was hoping. So it's letting go of, where you think you should be, or where you hope to be in the future, and really practicing being in each moment, because the life, and this is what I know it's teaching me as a visionary, because I have a tendency to race ahead in my mind and plan and structure. Now, it's not about not planning and not having a structure. It's not about not having that. It's about how do you plan in this moment, how to have a foundational structures in this moment that honour and work for you from this moment, instead of chasing after a goal or something in the future that you think is going to give you fulfillment, happiness, financial freedom, or security, whatever it is for you. Making sure that you stay best in this moment, so that you can pick up, the opportunities in this moment that are coming your way. I myself have chased after many opportunity outside of myself. It's like in continually looking forward, and I know that it keeps knocking me back to come back to the present moment each and every moment of the day as best I can. And letting go of a lot of those structures of how I think it's all meant to look, yet holding on to what's called the solid foundations, the foundations that I know keep me grounded, that I know, keep me at my inner peace as best I can in the moment, whilst I manage, the physical time, scheduling, clients, opportunities in this moment. As I said, I'm not perfect at it, so please don't put me on a pedestal. I'm no one's guru. You are your own expert. I'm not an expert in any way, shape or form. I've lived a lot of life. I've stepped into transformation since I was very, very early 20s has been a path that I've been committed to, of really becoming more and more conscious. And that's all we're here on this planet to do, is become conscious about, where we're at in each moment, what's important to us, what is our highest priorities. And, what you think you may want is not necessarily what you need for your highest and greatest cause and the higher purpose that might be trying to come to and through you. And I guess that's something that I'll need to go a little bit deeper into to explain more about over the time, so that I can share more. And this is what I know, I'm being called to do, is to share more about the journey, the inner journey that I'm going on. Because a lot of people are chasing the external, and all the people that I'm coaching behind closed doors continue to look for the next coaching program, the next expert, the next workshop that they should be going to learn more and more and more. And they're overwhelmed. One size does not fit all. Now, yes, it's all very valid and warranted and needed at different stages and times, possibly in your life. You might not need it. But what's important, as I said to my client yesterday, is knowing what is your next step right here, right now. Yeah? The highest priority right here, right now. And she clearly defined what that was. Yeah? So she knew exactly, but then she kept looking outside of what else she needed to be doing without taking that next step. So she was overwhelming herself, looking at the big elephant And then going into analysis paralysis. Who can relate to that? Yes, I certainly can. So that's when she said to me, so it's a lot easier when you chunk it down. I said, mm-hmm. You know, and that's what our brain, our mind can play tricks with us. So you don't need to be looking too far ahead. Just, you know, manage your day in a way that you know what your next steps are, what your priorities are, what's important to you right here, right now, eliminating any tolerations that might be draining your energy, that might be, you know, having you not really, but not having you be grounded and staying on your true path in each moment. Okay? No one else can see that. No one else can understand that. Only you, right? I don't care who you're working with. Even, you know, I say to my clients, you know, I'm not the expert here. You are. I'm going to help you find what's right for you. That's what I do. It's what I do for a living. Okay? And that's what I do for myself each and every day. And my coach and mentors support me to do that. I will not hire someone that's going to tell me, you know, what I should be doing at whatever given time, because it doesn't work that way. Okay? It's so important for tuning in, otherwise, because it's not sustainable. So I just wanted to share with you that honesty of where I'm at and where a lot of people are at, and to let you know that where you're at is perfect and divine for you right now. Get in touch, be gentle with yourself, and unravel one chunk at a time, whatever you feel you might be in the muddle of. And the other thing that I'm learning is to, you know, I went through a really deep grief process, and I don't feel I've ever gotten over it. Okay, and yeah, I understand, and I've, you know, seeked a lot of support, and I have a lot of support around me around this. But one of the things is, you know, it's divine time. There's no, when it comes to grief or anything that you might be going through, there's no particular time. As much as I know, I kept telling myself, you should be over this by now, get on with life, stop feeling sorry for yourself and so forth. You know, yes, there is a path where you might be, you know, in a victim mentality, but getting to know that side of yourself, where you're at, and getting to know your own truth. So, as I said, if you need any professional support around that, that is paramount when it comes to therapy. But that's certainly not the area that I work with. You know, but if you want to have a conversation with me about where you're at, and whether I can support you in, you know, helping you to connect with who you truly are and what's important to you right now, and how you want to go about doing it, following your authentic path, no one else's. So my name's Annette Stanton. If you want to contact me, go to my contact page on annettestanton.com. As I said, it is a rebranding that I have gone through over the last 3 years. There's another side of me that's come forward, so a lot of people see the executive side. Yes, I am that. I am an executive business and personal coach, qualified, certified, accredited in all those areas. But ultimately, all coaching is personal, okay? And that's all I need to say and share with you right now. Have a great day, honouring who you truly are. Be patient with yourself, and be your own best friend. Thanks again. Bye for now.